everyone, Cody, back again doing another video. If you follow my channel, or even if you don't, you'll see that I do videos on things I've got experience of, things that life experience, things like that. Talk about everything from prison reforms, prison issues, drugs, mobile phones in prisons, legalised crime, gun crime, knife crime, austerity, homelessness, and everything in between. Right, what I speak today about what happens to people the first day they go to prison. Right now, I've been in prison myself. Been in Strangeways here in Manchester, and I've been in Forest Bank as well, which is a Cat B prison in Salford. Where I finished my last sentence. Well, I was on remand actually, so yeah. Anyway, what happens, right? So if there's any people watching this that are like they're in a bit of mither and they're going to court on a trial, or even if you're not going to court, I was remanded. I was picked up on the street and up in prison with no trial because I was obviously remanded. So what happens, right? So you go to court, you go trial, you get found guilty, right? What happens then? Right, so you go down to the cells. I'm speaking to people that have not been remanded, that have just turned up at court. They're on trial. They've been sentenced. They've gone downstairs. They're in the cells. Like, what happens from every courthouse in the UK usually goes to a certain jail, like Manchester Crown Court, Manchester Crown Square, Manchester Minchell Street, Crown Court. You go to Strangeways, right? If you're outside of there, you go to like Bolton Crown Court, you go to Bury Magistrates Court, Oldham Magistrates Court, you go to Forest Bank. So that's throughout the UK. Obviously, different prisons go to different courts go to different prisons. So you're taken downstairs. You're placed in like a holding cell. The screws will come and bring you like a sandwich or a drink or something. Ask if you want a brew. You normally get like a pack of biscuits, like a sandwich, a bag of crisps, and a brew. And then what happens? The prison van will turn up. You'll be handcuffed to a screw. You'll be taken. You'll be put onto what they call a meat, like a sweatbox prison van, GOAMA prison van, handcuffed to a screw. You'll be sat in like a little cell thing. You can't swing a cat in there. And then what happens, you go to the prison that you're at, you'll pull up, you'll be then handcuffed again to a screw, you'll be taken in, you'll be processed, what they call processed. This is where all the paperwork, administration side of things is done. They'll take a picture of you. They'll give you a prison, like they give you details, they give you prison, like prison number and all that sort of stuff. And then you get a 2-minute phone call. So my advice to someone that's going to go to court, that's potentially looking at prison sentences, what you're better off doing is writing a list of like numbers for your family down, like immediate family, like someone that's going to answer the phone, because when you get to prison, you only get initial call, it's 2 minutes. So you ring your family, you tell them, look, I'm at this prison. This is my quick, get a pen. This is my prison ID number, like my prison number. Look, you can ring up the prison, right? This is important, this, right? I didn't know this when I went in jail. Right, what happens, right, is your family on the outside can contact the prison on the booking number. So write that down, people, on the booking number. And then what they can do, what they call, I think it's called a welcome visit or something like that, like an initial, your family can book that visit. So your family ring the prison, right? So once you've been imprisoned, they can ring the prison and say, right, I want to book a visit for my son. This is his prison number. And then that visit will be booked in for like a couple of days, sometimes a week, depending on how busy they are. Then what happens, you go through, you're strip searched, you're given prison issue clothing, you strip searched, like, and I mean strip searched, like you start bollock naked, you got to lift your balls up, turn around, bend over, squat, so nothing up your ass. Then you sit on a chair. Not every prison, I don't think every prison will have it, some they should do. There's a chair that you sit on, and it's actually like to detect metal inside your body to see if you've got anything plugged up your ass, mobile phone, charger, things, weapons, things like that sort of shit. Then what happens, you put in a holding cell, like a big room. There's a TV on the wall, the TV didn't work, and you can get 20, 30 fucking prisoners in this holding cell. It's just like it's like a big room. So like a big room, you've got like a little like toilet, and I was in there for 6 hours. You've got by this time you've got all your clothes are in a plastic bag. You fucking like a big see-through plastic bag. You've got all your prison prison paperwork, so your induction booklet, chaplaincy, healthcare, all that sort of shit, right? And then you sit in this thing for ages, and then what happens is they'll come down, and then one by if you're on the if you're on the drug wing or something like that, or you need to go to the medical wing, they'll come in, they'll take you up to the medical wing. All the other prisoners that are being processed should go straight onto the induction wing. The induction wing being the induction to the prison. We didn't. I landed at the jail about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and I didn't end up on a wing till 9 o'clock. So I'm taken onto the induction wing. I'm talking about Strangeways here in Manchester. Taken into the induction wing. I was taken up onto the fours, which is the fourth landing, so the top of the jail, like the top of the wing. They opened the door, and that was it. They just push you in. There was an Irish lad that was in there. He was watching telly, and that was it. That was my induction. That was like me, bam, straight in. I spent the night there. In the morning, we didn't get let out or nothing. After a couple of after a day or two, they come and get you. Obviously, you go for your meals and stuff like that. Like Strangeways, like induction, you're talking 22, 23 hour lockup, right? Like, well, the whole prison's on that, not just the induction wing. Yeah, and then while you're in your cell, you'll get what they call a starter pack, right? If you smoke, you'll get a smoker pack, right, which consists of back tobacco, like some rolling tobacco, some Rizzler, some matches and stuff like that. If you don't smoke, you get like a fucking cheap bottle of orange cordial, a cheap Mars bar, a lollipop, a chocolate bar, a bag of mints, like a fucking Rolo mints or something like that. And that's it. That's you. You're in the wing. You're in prison. Yeah, it was pretty mad, to be honest. And then after a couple of days and that, you go into a room, and there's you sit around, and there's like a screw, and you say, right, welcome to the prison. My name's blah blah blah. I'm here, or blah. If you got any questions, you go to the listener. If you're down or depressed or need you're on drugs or anything, go to speak to the listener. A listener is just like a prisoner that's like you and me, and he's been trained apparently to listen to your problems, but I don't really rate him. Good lads. The listener that we had was a good kid, but I didn't ever need to go and see him or anything. Yeah, and then like I say, you put all your apps in to get your phone numbers on. So you go to the screw, you say, listen, boss, where's my? I need stick some numbers on and that. When you send mail and stuff like that, you've got to you get 2 a week, and they're called OLs, which are like free prison letters that you can send. They don't cost you anything to send. The screws slide them under your door. You fill them in. Like you write your letters to your family. You leave the envelope open, and then you post it into a box. Make sure to put your name and prison number in the back of the envelope, otherwise it'll be pushed back under your door. Then you get an induction. You go to the gym. I did it at Strangeways, actually. Funnily, that never happened at Strangeways. At Forest Bank it did. We had to do gym induction and all this. We had to do all these inductions and shit. It was a load of bollocks. Just like cycles, man. You just go through and through and through. My advice would be to anyone that goes to prison for the first time, keep yourself to yourself initially. Speak to your pad mate and that. Learn the most important and scary thing is not being locked up. It's the case of not knowing. Like, you don't know the rules of prison. There are rules within prison as well. There's the prison rules, which are set by the screws and the governor, right, which no one really listens to. Right, and then there's the cons rules, which is like certain things, right? So you don't break them rules. If you've not got the money for drugs or anything like that, don't fucking buy them. Don't get them on tick. because you will get fucking slashed or beaten. So don't do that. Even if you've got a really bad habit and someone offers you a load of spice or a load of cannabis or a load of heroin, right, and you can't afford to take them, and you can't afford to pay them back, and you know you're not going to be able to, don't fucking take them. Right? I don't do drugs myself, but I've seen people like done in like napalm, which is like in your cell. You have like kettle. You fill it with hot water, you load a load of sugar in there, it becomes like a sticky residue sort of thing. You throw it in someone's face, and what it happens, it clings to your face and it just pulls the skin from your face, and you're scarred for life. So don't do that. Learn the way that the prisons work and stuff like that. Some screws will be dickheads, some screws won't. Some screws you get that have swapped the personality for a set of keys, right? Stay clear of them because they're fucking muppets. You always get a decent screw on a wing normally. So make sure that you like with the lads and stuff. Just respect each other. Respect the lads that are near you, because prison, like, it's a violent place. It's a dangerous, violent place. Like, I never had no problems, but I'm like a 6'4", like 20 stone guy, so I never had no either. But the thing is, it's like it does go on. If you're a non-smoker, it has to be padded up with a non-smoker. If you're a smoker, it has to be padded up with a smoker. Yeah, don't lend things from the lads if you're not going to give them back. Don't steal in prison, because you get fucking hammered in, you get a fucking hiding. Any questions, just ask the lads. Most of the lads are happy to help you, do you know what I mean? You get someone in there that you don't, just the fucking miserable bastards, and don't want to speak to you. Other lads can't do enough for you. They'll tell you how the prison works, what rules are what, who to avoid, who not to avoid, who's safe, who's not safe, which screws are alright, which screws are not alright. The induction wings, the main question you get asked when you come on the induction wing is if you got any gear, because most of the lads that are going to trial that know they could be found guilty plug a load of drugs up their arse, plug in beans secreting shit out your arse, mobile phones, drugs legalised, whatever, in parcels, and you go in, and that's where they arrive in a prison, most of them. And then obviously all drugs within prison have got obviously a massive, like, you're talking 2 or 3 times what you pay on the street, sometimes more than that depending if there's a drought on. Just you get your prison ID card, you get like a CMS number, you've got like in Strangeways, it's not at all prisons, but you've got like a job link thing, you can enter your number, and then you put your little finger on the thing and it reads your number, and then you can order stuff on canteen, medical appointments, magazines, all that sort of shit. You can order your food as well. On the Unilink, it's like on the wing you've got like you've got like 3 phones on a wing, and then you've got like on we had just one, and it was it looks like a job link. Like, if you've ever been into a job centre, it looks like one of them. You go on it, on your booklet that they give you, it'll have a number, right? You enter that number, you put your finger on it, it reads your fingerprint, right? So only you can access that, right? So then you can, like I say, you can order food for your canteen, magazines. You can see the doctor, see the nurse. But the main thing it's used for is ordering your food. Like, what happens is, like, a menu goes up and you'll be on what they call the comp, which is the default option, right? And no one fucking likes it. It's hanging, right? So make sure as soon as you were like, first time you get let out of your cell, you say to someone, how do I use this fucking Unilink, right? And you go down and you order your food at your earliest opportunity. The longer you leave it, the longer you're going to be on default, right? Trust me on that. Your morale will be down and stuff like that. Just keep your chin up, keep your spirits up. Everyone's in the same boat in there. A lot of the lads have been through the system numerous times. A lot of the lads haven't been through the system. A lot of lads are doing years in prison. Some have got a couple of months left. Some are doing weeks, some are doing months, some are doing years, some are doing life. But your life was mainly on D-Wing at Strangeways. But obviously I'm talking about Strangeways, I'm not talking about other prisons. It's a scare initially. Like, I wasn't scared because I know a lot of people in prison, and it was inevitable that eventually I was going to end up there. But for people, it can be a big shock for them. I guess it could be. But yeah, like I say, as long as you're respectful to other people and be alright with them, they'll be alright with you. You behave, just keep your chin up, right? And like, don't suffer in silence. Speak to the lads. Hey, lads ain't gonna laugh at you. They'll try and perk you up and stuff. It's like you're all in the same, but it's like being at a naughty class at school. Everyone will help you in any way they can and stuff. But yeah, it's just the way it is. And then as the days go by and the weeks go by, and once you've got your first visit, like from your family or your friends or whatever, your spirits will lift up. They can bring your clothes in for, I think it's 60 days or something like that, and they just need your prison number. Turn up on the day of the visit, about, I'd say, an hour before. Get your your tracksuit, trainers, things like that handed in. Tell them to send you a postal order. It's normally made payable to like the governor or HMP Manchester or whatever prison you're in. HMP Wormwood Scrubs. You know what I mean? HMP Dovegate or HMP Leeds or whatever. On the back of the so your mum and your family go to the post office and say, right, I want a £25 postal order. There's normally about a £2.50, £3 charge on top, made out to HMP Leeds or whatever, if you was in HMP Leeds. On the back of that, they have to fill in their details. There's like a little bit for your name and stuff, and then at the top they write your prison name, your last name, your prison number, and your last name to make sure it goes to you. And then when you go back to that Unilink in about 2-3 days after that, the money should be there in your account. Then you can buy things on canteen, toiletries, things like that. Yeah. And that's the initial, what happens when you go into prison. Right, listen, guys, I'm going to shoot off anyway. I'll leave it there. I'll speak to you all soon. Take care, guys. God bless. Bye.